The Acolyte, also known as Star Wars, The Acolyte 1-2 is an upcoming American science fiction television series created by Leslye Headland for the streaming service Disney+. It is part of the Star Wars franchise, set at the end of the High Republic era before the events of the main Star Wars films, and follows a Jedi investigation into a series of crimes. Amandla Stenberg, Jung-jae, Manny Jacinto, Dafne Keen, Charlie Barnett, Jodie Turner-Smith, Rebecca Henderson, Dean Charles Chapman, Joonas Suotamo, and Carrie-Anne Moss star in the series. Headland expressed interest in working on the Star Wars franchise by the end of 2019, and was developing a new series for Lucasfilm by April 2020. The title was announced that December. Filming took place in London and at Shinfield Studios in Berkshire from October 2022 to June 2023, with location filming in Wales and Portugal. The Acolyte is scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus on June 4, 2024, with its first 2 episodes. The other 6 episodes will be released weekly. The Acolyte is set at the end of the Star Wars franchise's High Republic era, approximately 100 years before Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, 1999. 3-4 It sees a respected Jedi Master investigating a series of crimes that bring him into conflict with a former Padawan learner and reveal sinister forces. Casting was underway by the end of June 2021, when Lucasfilm were looking to hire a young woman of color for the lead role. Amandla Stenberg was in talks for that part in December 29 and was confirmed to be cast in July 2022. Jodie Turner-Smith and Russian Doll co-star Charlie Barnett entered final negotiations to join the series in September 2022. 31-32 when Jung-jae and Manny Jacinto were cast. Lee was cast as the male lead. 33-34 after Headland was impressed with his performance in the television series Squid Game. 35 at the start of November, Dafne Keen was revealed to have a role in the series. 36 soon after, Lucasfilm confirmed the casting of Stenberg, Lee, Jacinto, Turner-Smith, Barnett, and Keen, and announced the casting of Dean Charles Chapman, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Headland's wife Rebecca Henderson. 5:37 Headland had Stenberg, Barnett, and Keen in mind when creating their characters. 38-35 She wanted to see Keen with a lightsaber after her performance as the character X-23 in Logan, 2017. 35 Margarita Levieva was cast in a guest role by the start of December 10. At Star Wars Celebration London in April 2023, Joonas Suotamo was revealed to be part of the series cast as Wookiee Jedi Kolnaka. Suotamo previously portrayed the Wookiee Chewbacca in the sequel trilogy films and Solo, A Star Wars Story, 2018. 24 Also at the convention, Lee, Keen, Barnett, Henderson, and Moss were revealed to be playing Jedi. 39 with Henderson cast as the character Vernister Ruo, who was introduced in the High Republic Publishing Initiative 40 in March 2024. Headland said Ruo was the only character from the High Republic books that would appear in the first season, but there were other High Republic characters that she hoped to include in a potential second season. She felt Ruo was important for showing the state of the Jedi Order in the series, contrasting her role as a leader in the Order with the young prodigy she is depicted as in the books. 22 Also that month, character details for most of the series' main cast were revealed, with Stenberg as former Padawan May, Lee as Jedi Master Sol, Jacinto as former smuggler Kimir, Keen as Padawan Jeki Lon, Barnett as Jedi Knight Yord Fandar, Turner-Smith as Coven Leader Mother Anicia, and Moss as Jedi Master. Indara 7 Headland said it was a no-brainer to cast Moss as Indara, who was inspired by Moss's portrayal of Trinity in the Matrix film series 9. In April, David Harewood was reported to have a small role in the series. A writer's room for the series was assembled by June 2021. Headland made sure the group included writers with different relationships to Star Wars, including some who were only fans of the original trilogy, some who were specifically fans of Dave Filoni's Star Wars projects, and one writer who had never seen Star Wars before. 123 The series writers included Jason McClef, Charmaine de Great, Jasmine Flournoy, Eileen Shim, Claire Keachel, Cor Adana, Cameron Squires, Jocelyn Bio, and Jen Richards. 14 When pitching the series to Lucasfilm, Headland described it as Frozen meets Kill Bill. 124 Responding to discussion of the series being female-centric, Headland said it would have a female protagonist but would not exclude male characters or audiences. She added that the series introduces new characters and ideas to the franchise that she hoped would interest existing fans, but she understood that not all fans would like it and felt that was fine considering there were so many new Star Wars projects being produced. 25 in May 2022, Headland said writing for the series was mostly complete for. Headland wanted to explore the Star Wars franchise from the perspective of the villains. She felt the High Republic era would be the best point in the timeline to do this because the Sith, who are the villains in the films, are considerably outnumbered and in hiding during this time. 19 Lucasfilm also wanted to depict the time period on screen after recently launching a publishing initiative set in the era, and because they wanted to explore new parts of the Star Wars timeline away from the films and other series. 19 Headland noted that the Acolyte was the earliest point in the Star Wars timeline to be seen in live action at that point. 26 She wanted to address some fan criticisms of the Star Wars films, such as how Darth Sidious ascends to power without the Jedi knowing. How did we get to a point where a Sith Lord can infiltrate the Senate and none of the Jedi pick up on it? What went wrong? She considered herself lucky to be able to ask those questions in an actual Star Wars project. 427 A key theme in the franchise for Headland was underdog versus institutional threat, and in this part of the timeline it is the Jedi who are the main institution. 22 In contrast to the Jedi in the films, who are monk-like figures in times of war, Headland said the High Republic Jedi live in a time of peace and enlightenment akin to the Renaissance, as seen in their white and gold robes that look like they never get dirty. For the series questions the Jedi practice of training children. 27 And also explores differing views on the Force and the amount of power and control that the Jedi have. 22 Headland took inspiration from the film Rashomon, 1950, to depict events from multiple perspectives, showing how the series protagonist, former Padawan learner May, sees things differently to the Jedi Order 1. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller with a serialized story that builds throughout the first season, inspired by the approach of fellow Star Wars series Ender. 22 Because there are no overarching conflicts or wars in the series, Headland said it was interesting to make a Star Wars with no war in it. The fight sequences are more intimate. 26 Focusing on duels that further develop the characters. 28 Noting that Star Wars creator George Lucas was originally influenced by westerns and Akira Kurosawa's samurai films, Headland decided to take more influence from martial arts films which she felt were a little bit more personal and less global and galactic. These included wuxia films by King Hu and Shaw Brothers Studios such as Come Drink With Me, 1966, and A Touch of Zen, 1971. 19 Similar to the Star Wars series The Mandalorian. 22 The Acolyte includes Easter eggs for fans of the original trilogy, prequel trilogy, and the animated series Star Wars, The Clone Wars, as well as references to the EU and Star Wars Legends. EU references include members of the Thelan and Zygarian species as well as some narrative elements. 1 The series introduces a coven of Force witches, separate from the Night Sister witches seen in previous Star Wars projects, inspired by mentions of Force cults in the High Republic books and the EU. Casting was underway by the end of June 2021, when Lucasfilm were looking to hire a young woman of color for the lead role. Amandla Stenberg was in talks for that part in December, and was confirmed to be cast in July 2022. Jodie Turner-Smith and Russian doll co-star Charlie Barnett entered final negotiations to join the series in September 2022 when Jung-jae and Manny Jacinto were cast. Lee was cast as the male lead, after Headland was impressed with his performance in the television series Squid Game. At the start of November, Dafne Keen was revealed to have a role in the series. Soon after, Lucasfilm confirmed the casting of Stenberg, Lee, Jacinto, Turner-Smith, Barnett, and Keen, and announced the casting of Dean Charles Chapman, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Headland's wife Rebecca Henderson. Headland had Stenberg, Barnett, and Keen in mind when creating their characters. She wanted to see Keen with a lightsaber after her performance as the character X-23 in Logan, 2017. Margarita Levieva was cast in a guest role by the start of December. At Star Wars Celebration London in April 2023, Joonas Suotamo was revealed to be part of the series cast as Wookiee Jedi Kolnaka. Suotamo previously portrayed the Wookiee Chewbacca in the sequel trilogy films and Solo, A Star Wars Story, 2018. Also at the convention, Lee, Keen, Barnett, Henderson, and Moss were revealed to be playing Jedi, with Henderson cast as the character Vernister Ruo, who was introduced in the High Republic Publishing Initiative. In March 2024, Headland said Ruo was the only character from the High Republic books that would appear in the first season, but there were other High Republic characters that she hoped to include in a potential second season. She felt Ruo was important for showing the state of the Jedi Order in the series, contrasting her role as a leader in the Order with the young prodigy she is depicted as in the books. Also that month, character details for most of the series' main cast were revealed, with Stenberg as former Padawan May, Lee as Jedi Master Sol, Jacinto as former smuggler Kimir, Keen as Padawan Jeki Long, Barnett as Jedi Knight Yord Bandar, Turner-Smith as Coven Leader Mother Anicia, and Moss as Jedi Master. Indara. Headland said it was a no-brainer to cast Moss as Indara, who was inspired by Moss's portrayal of Trinity in the Matrix film series. In April, David Harewood was reported to have a small role in the series. Principal photography began by October 30, 2022, at Shinfield Studios in Berkshire, under the working title Paradox. Headland, Kogonada, Lopez, and Culpepper directed 2 episodes each. James Friend and Chris Teague served as cinematographers. Better Source needed. The series was initially reported to be using visual effects company Industrial Light and Magic's stagecraft technology to shoot in front of digital backgrounds on a video wall, as was done for The Mandalorian and its spin-off series, but Headland later said the series was primarily filmed on practical sets and did not use the technology, for creative and logistical reasons. Location filming had begun in Wales by January 2023, including at Brecon Beacons National Park. From mid to late March, filming took place on Madeira Island, Portugal. In early April, there were said to be only a few weeks of production remaining. Filming officially wrapped on June 6. Headland said filming went smoothly despite the length of production and the amount of action sequences and wire work. She said the cast did most of their own action scenes, including actors who had worked in action before such as Lee, Keen, and Moss. Stenberg, who was new to action, threw herself into training and did incredible work in a short amount of time.